Hi, Dave Chenard here with Chenard Outdoor Associates, and really excited to bring you the new 2018 spring products from a host of brands that we represent. Hatch, Waterworks Lamson, Winston, as well as Umpqua Feather Merchants. So we're going to start right off with Winston. For 88 years, this company has meant the world to the fly fishing industry. They've been handcrafting fly rods since 1929 in Twin Bridges, Montana. And we're excited to meet with you to present this line and to go through the new Air as well as Kairos and all the other new Winston rods. So if you're interested at all, please reach out to us or Jimmy and I will visit you. And we have all the new collaterals and workbooks and catalogs as well. Well, with that, let's head on into the bus and we're going to look at some more products in specific. We're going to start right off with Hatch. Super excited to bring to you the new Gen 2 reels. Let's head right over here. You'll see the Generation 2, we went to 9 ports instead of 7 ports, so there's more milling in here. That makes for a lighter weight. We also have this mist or matte finish, if you will. It's a really neat dimensional finish. It looks like a light bead blasting. It reduces glare. It's easier on the eyes. It's easier on the fish. It actually hides some of the scuffing and mars over the years better, so really excited about the finish. Also, super pumped about the new colorway in this gray. This gray could be our best seller for this coming years, as it has a very in-between subdued look in this gray tone. And you'll notice here are new handles and counterbalances. These are more comfortable. They'll be lower maintenance and last over the years. And we do have in this new Generation 2, while we're talking about it, we have brand new lip seals. These lip seals will give us an unprecedented level of waterproofing in our reels, and we also have waterproof bearings inside. So this is going to be more protection in all those elements. Very good. Now, moving on out of the new Gen 2 in standard colors, we now are going to have a limited release of custom colors in this new Gen 2 reel. You will each of you have already received, and if you haven't, let us know, your electronic order forms. Are actually doing a Google Docs online, so it'll be easy for everybody. And we have different ship dates for the specific colors in this new custom line. This will allow you to plan your buy and to set your marketing and reach out to your customers. For example, last night the Gators had a great 1-point win, and maybe they're in a mood for a 7+ in the new colorway there. These reels here are showing you the 2 tones, but on your order form you will see when all of the entire reel in blue or in a 2-tone with a black with blue trim with the blue cage. For you Winston fans, we also have a beautiful green. That'll kit up well. And a lot of people have shown their interest, no doubt, in this in our new purple colorway there. Very good. Let's move on out of the custom colors. Don't forget your nippers and your knot tension tools and your pliers, all solid sellers with us. And our backing is a fast-growing category in a lot of shops. We've always had, for the past years, our PE backing as a high-level gel that'll last a lifetime. But we've added to that a new premium Dacron. We understand that most reels are filled at fly shops in thousands of yards in bulk spools. So we're going to offer you these in a few different yardages, including 2,500 yard shop spools and 5,000 yard shop spools. And 5,000 yard shop spool is at an incredible price. I won't say it here because of people watching the video at wholesale, but look at your pricer and you will see it's really phenomenal. With that being said, reach out to us with any questions, but we're going to move on out of Hatch and we're going to go right into Waterworks Lamson. So each of you will be receiving your new Waterworks Lamson 2018 brochures, which will go through the development of over 2 years in the making of our Cobalt. Very close to my heart. We'll get into that in a minute, as I was part of the whole testing and design early on. Our Center Axis, which is an amazing story of performance in our industry, a proud moment for us, no doubt. And then the full lineup of all your other reels. So with that being said, let's get right into the Cobalt. Not to steal the show, but this Cobalt has been worked on for 2 years. I've personally fished it for 2 tarpon seasons as we've gone and done one of the most testing ever on a saltwater reel. The Cobalt is the industry's very first, when you think of an IPX8 waterproof rated reel, okay? IPX8 is the people who you have to have your stuff approved by if you want to say waterproof. So this is certified, tested to waterproof to 100 feet. That's an industry first, at least to my knowledge. This design group here really got challenged when you look at the engineering that's done here, and that is Waterworks Lamson. They have always been known for their design and engineering. Well, they challenged themselves to do one full revolution of the drag knob from startup all the way to lockdown, 12 pounds plus of pressure with noted detent so you can accurately adjust your drag and not be turning your knob around the world a few times. Real wild milling, like when you look at how thin the metal is or thinner it is on the outbound side, to look how thick the cage gets and look how thick the metal is up in the reel foot housing. That's by design. Why would we have that as thick as this? No reason for that if we're looking at swing weight, and we'll get into swing weight in a minute. Look at that even in our spools. When you look at how thick the palm rim is here, opposite of the handle, and how thin. They've done 2-axis milling on this, which when you look at these slots, you can see that slot's right up against the edge, and look at all the meat on this slot. It's out around it looks. Very unique. So this is the way you balance perfectly from the handle without a true counterbalance to say. So this is coming in sizes from a 5'6", starting at, I believe, $569 retail, which is phenomenal, all the way on up to $799 in our big boy, if you're looking for one of the best rated or tested saltwater reels. Great new hats and whatnot that you'll be able to get at your dealers as well with that. Don't forget our liquid kits. They continue to do phenomenal because for a small amount more, you can get 2 spare spools to go with that. And this is a big deal with a lot of our introductory and mid casters in this country and people just getting into our sport because they want to be able to buy from you a casting practice fly line that might be half the retail that they can practice with every day or once a week or whatever, and keep a good trout taper, redfish taper, or whatever on the reel itself, and pop these spools in and out. $159, you get it all at retail. So this is an amazing deal. So that continues to do well. The new Micra 5 light speeds. This is really becoming a popular saltwater reel as much as freshwater because of people looking for performance reels lightweight. If you're done knocking them bonefish out and those redfish out, and you're looking for something that's a little easier on the hand and a little lighter, and it's just amazing the feel that happens when a reel doesn't get muddy. Well, then look no further than the Micra 5. Okay, let's move into the new center axis. Back, some of you may remember center axis back from the old Sage days. God, it has to be 10 plus years ago, maybe more. Is it 15 years ago, guys? I don't know. A long time ago. And we did these in super lightweights, like double aught, whatever it was. They were micro lightweights, and they really didn't get many people to pay attention. But I want to tell you, this is for real. This is all about science. It's about physics. I think of this as almost like the golf industry. I remember about, I don't know what it is now, 8-10 years ago, some of the golf companies very first introduced adding weights into club heads and screwing them in. So we're going to make you slice or fix the slice, and we're going to make you draw and all this. And it was the biggest cockamamie crap, right, you ever saw, right? Was it? Was it? Oh, all of a sudden, you won't find a golf club in the golf industry that doesn't have perimeter weighting, adjustable weights, adjustable lie and all. That's how industries support growth, by making the game easier to do. Well, Waterworks Lamson is trying to make the game easier to do. Some people are out there, skeptics, saying this is all cockamamie. It doesn't make any sense. Other people that are casting it are realizing, oh my gosh, just wait a second here. Yes, blindfold yourself. Go ahead and act like you have no eyes, like you're a blind person, okay? Or a deaf person, can't hear anything. And I want you to just go by the feel of this, okay? And you will notice it. So let's look at where we are today. The problem is we have this weight that forever has been mounted right off of the center axis of the rod, okay? The larger we make this reel, there's all sorts of advantages with a large arbor reel, no question, okay? No question about it. We all love them, right? Especially this guy here. Oh, what a reel. We'll talk later about it. But the bigger we get, the more it's bringing unsprung weight and deflection into this. But it is what it is, right? This is what we have to do. So, well, is it? Let's go in reverse before we go forward. I always say, take a step back and let's see what bad really is. So I challenged Waterworks Lamson and said, guys, I want you to make me a real foot, an arm that extends out 12 inches, okay? Let's go ahead and do this. Well, and they made it. They've been talking about the science of this. We all understood this, but as a salesman, I need to communicate. And so this is my communication device, okay? And then when you go ahead and you try to cast with a reel this far off the center axis, every thumping, every release, every little, geez, why did I punch into it? Why did I go ahead and kick it in the butt like that? I know I gotta be smooth. But hey, we're not, right? It's about making your worst cast better, your bad cast good, right? Or your good cast even better. Well, be smooth, right? Well, I know this. Bringing the reel away from the rod is the worst thing you can do. So let's go put my friend back here, okay? What's in between is right here what we do today. Well, how about we go ahead and we take the reel and we move it all the way up into as close as we can, almost into the center line of that rod. Okay, because there's still got to be things that we're doing here, okay? So this is the new center axis. And I need you to understand that balance is balance. Balance is like two-dimensional. So if this weight stays the same and we lower the reel to here and we raise the reel to here, guys, I'm not talking about changing the balance of your rod. But for some reason, when you move that same weight up into this center axis of this weapon, of this tool, okay, it feels like everything got lighter and it feels like I don't feel no kick. I don't feel this horse yanking me or something. It's unique. You got to feel it. And there's no question if you test yourself in accuracy, you're going to be more accurate, okay? And in this game, at least when I had a fly shop, and today, to this day, I know the difference between some people catching a lot of fish and some people catching not as many. Might be a drift that's 2 to 3 inches off their intended line, right? There's the seam. You keep missing it. That brown, you missed his nose. You got caught in the current. Look, I've heard it. We could go into the saltwater world where we get that little loop that flips over, does whatever, right? Because you kicked it in the butt a little too much. This is going to mean as much to a tailing bonefish or to a tarpon as it definitely already, we all know, matters in the trout world. So go test one. Get a demo kit in your shops. Look at the line weights. We're doing them 5-weight through 8-weight to start. Can't wait till we go even heavier through the years as we realize the power of what this means to us. 8 weights, I believe, will be coming out sometime in the first of the year. Definitely be on the forefront of casting them, having them, so that at least you can develop your opinion of whether you can feel it or not. One word of caution. If you can't feel the difference between a center axis, if you close your eyes, and a traditional outfit, I don't know if I would say that too loud. Okay, because basically you're gonna feel it and you're gonna know, and if you can't feel it, well then we need to get more in touch with it. All right, let's move on. Outside of Waterworks Slam Sims, I think we covered all the exciting high points. All of you should have your order forms all emailed out. If you need anything, let me know. Pre-seasons are coming due, so we got to get on our orders to set our production and manufacturing for next year. All right, let's move on to Umpqua. Okay, super exciting stuff from our friends there out of Louisville, Colorado. All of you either got or you're going to be getting within the next few days your incredible Bible. This is a Bible in our fly fishing industry. You're not a fly shop unless you have that 5-pound catalog in your store. Okay, I know that. And when it comes to flies, nobody has a bigger assortment and manages more factories than we do. So let's get right into some flies. I'm going to ask you to come right down here and sit next to me, and you're going to look right over my shoulder, and we're going to look at some bugs. We're going to start with some warm water here first. Okay, the mini mud bug, these things are really cool. So it looks like a little crustacean. It's on a jig hook. Great for amazing in your river streams, whatever. Could be smallmouth, could be trout. Super cool. Same thing with the Hellraiser craw. Little micro leech rabbit strips with some speckled rubber legs. Great new pattern. The Easy Meal Caterpillar, look it up, everybody. Okay, it's got that abdomen section that looks just like caterpillars, right? It's all like bugging out with the different colors popping out. Really looks meaty. So whether it's panfish or trout, that's a no-brainer in shelves. The Lily Frog, it's got no wind block, right? It's aerodynamic, so you can cast this with a 6-weight, guys, for those 4-pound bass and those mountain lakes, or even on down by me. It floats super, really nicely, simple tie. So definitely take a look at the lily frog. And then the Morris dragons, we're so pumped we got some smaller sizes. These things are killers, as people have seen. So get those in your shop. They're now in 8 and 10s as well. And our bass poppers, we're adding weed guards, more colors and all this in our weed guard collection here. Super beautiful. So now if you're pulling it through lily pads, you're protected. We'll look at some more topwater dries. The bubble butt, really neat bumblebee type fly with a lot of foam. Mohawk beetle. Okay, really easy to see. I love how we're using rubber legs and Flexi-Floss and all these things more and more. Really works out well. I'm going to race through a lot of our hoppers. You guys want to look at the catalog. We got some beautiful new additions there as well, including the user-friendly. Gosh, look, when all else fails, guys, you know what we know? Go sparser. Okay, sometimes we overdo things. I love the user-friendly, how simple and sparse it is. Yep. All right, we're going to fly through here again. I got some really nice thorax and improved sparkle duns, but let's go right into, I got a lot to cover. And flies are hard to see. I know each of you are going to be buying according to your catalog, so I really just want to race over to some of the clothing and others. Formerly Prince, we all know about that fly. You replace the goose biots with that holographic, and you just catch fish, especially in dirtier water or faster water. A great version there. That's here as well. Look at rubber legs, so what I was talking about. Right here, like Tease Stone from Tim Drummond. Wonderful, wonderful new beadhead stonefly pattern. I think all you should consider that. We're doing a lot with these mopsicles. Okay, it's really just, it's really buggy and larvally, and so you're going to get an eat on that. Pat Stone, again, add some flies to your shops with more of this kind of separation in the rubber legs because it's working on fish, and obviously, same thing with the straggle stone, same thing with that great spread on that Flexi-Floss and the modeling. And rubber legs. The best rubber legs are the ones that have the perfect spacing on those legs. Smallmouth, kill them as well. So whether it's smallmouth or trout, make sure you got enough variety in your shops. All right, saltwater. Or actually a little peacock first, and warm water here. Don't forget your Mojo minnows, great for all sorts of panfish, bass, as well as some international travel. You should have some flash on you. And then our jungle thunders, especially in the peacock. But look at these great colors. They have super profiles. That was the whole thing here. You can slap them and slap them and slap them with 10 weights and 12 weights and all, and they just keep fishing. So now you got some solid peacock bass flies that you can offer. The doppelganger. This here is a small little bait fish, really sparse. So if you're looking for something in a size 6 that's very sparse, well, that would be good right there. All right, and then lastly, let's look at some of my salt. I know a lot of you in my territory are just salt focused. The belly flop now comes in a size 6, so you'll have 2 sizes to this really solid fishing bottom crab pattern. Umpqua bait fish is now in chartreuse. Lexo's pop-up shrimp. Look, we're having a lot of permit get caught on shrimp these days because they're a little easier to feed at times, especially if that permit is a little bit on the move, stop and go, right? Well, we're going to use that 506 hook, which, by the way, is continuing to have incredible success with permit because you're always going to hook them great. I mean, this is an amazing hookup hook. Well, that jig hook allows you to put the lead underneath. They hide the jig with a little bit of that coyote in the front or whatever it is up there. It looks like a little rabbit maybe. And you got the whole shrimp back on it. So it's just a wonderful swimming shrimp pattern. Comes in a size 4. So add that to your bins. Drew Chacon did the Tuscan bunny. So the Tuscan bunny is a tarpon bunny with this split foam, live body foam on the head, so you can contour it like a snake, if you will. So it's a floating snake that makes perfect V-wake to just really tick off those tarpon. So definitely something you want to take a look at. The big Rodney is an articulated fly. So if you're looking for action in inlets off of jetties and you want to get more of a swimming action in the surf, well, look at this big Rodney because that'll dance for you, no question about it. Back to Drew Chacon. Disco shrimp. So it's got that disc little sequin on the front or whatever it is, and the foam on top of it, and it's really nicely done here with a little coyote and rubber legs and the antennae. So this is going to give you a topwater spitting shrimp that's going to get that attention again at night, or maybe if you're blind fishing at bad light, if you're a sight caster and you don't know what to do, have some of these. Blind fish with this, you'd be surprised over the grass and potholes what's going to come up. The shrimp spiker, this is a must-have. Just if it's not on your order, I'm going to tell you to put it on your order. So just avoid it and just put it on your order. It's got the barred kind of EP or body fiber in the back, along with speckled legs. Some looks like a grizzly modeled little mini marabou, and a little dubbed head with a weed guard. This is going to catch redfish. It's going to catch bonefish. It's going to do a little of everything. Your flash tail minnow jigs, just super for guys who fish bait fish, again, in various places, off the beach, jetties, blind casting, but it's got the perfect bait fish pattern, and it's really firm there, the way they made this with the flash tail, so it all bonds around that flash tail, and on that 506 hook, it's going to be riding perfect, so you always put them up in the lip, right in the beak. So really nice in 3 colors here with that flash tail minnow jig. The detonator crab, so this is a tidal crab for tarpon. You'll see the crab eyes. It's a little hard to see because it's not wet here, but it's all about being lively with some life and natural materials. So that's Drew with his detonator crab in 2 colors. And then really pumped about his cocaine coyote. So you guys know his coyote, all right? Coyote catches a lot of fish. Well, he added this speckled legs, a weed guard, and he's got a little bit of this like crystal kind of hackle. It's that translucent kind of little body underneath that's palmered in there. I use that material when I tie. It looks good and it catches fish, and he's got some dumbbell eyes in the middle. So that's a no-brainer for your flats guys. 2 colors there, a little more olive grass formulation and a little more on the tan side. So, oh, I can't forget you. I'm sorry, Drew. All right, your tranquilizer. So this is very gotcha inspired, and you got that rabbit over the top, however, with the colors, and then he's using his legs. They're those speckled legs. I forget the name of those legs, but I got them. I've ordered them. Hairline sells them, I believe. But that's a good-looking color combination there. So definitely add that in 2 or 4 to your bonefish boxes. All right, moving on. We're almost done, everybody. We can't forget about packs. Okay, so we are coming out with a new camo coloring in our packs, both in our Steamboat 1200 sling, which is really nice, our Rock Creek and our chest pack, and we also have your hip packs, and your Ledges 650 if you want to do the hip. And we do have a weighting net belt that'll hold your net as well as zinger and nippers and all that if you want a little back support. But I wanted to get all my dealers to see this colorway, okay? See this colorway on me, because you will notice how good looking this is for a lot of scenarios. If you're thinking just the flats, I mean just the inland or whatever, I get it, but it actually is a really good option to like desert camo when it comes to seagrasses and dead grasses and mangroves and all that. So I can 100% see this when it comes to flats fishing and traveling to the Bahamas and all that. This Rock Creek is incredibly light as well. Gives me all the room for a medium or more large box, leaders, place for my keys and pliers. Out here I can put hemostats and pliers. Amazing, those permits. Sometimes it's nice to have a longer needle forceps that have a little more length to go in there. You can see the depth I have the way we've done this in here. If you are a trout fisherman with your floatants and all that, you can have that as well. But this is a really nice pack, and you'll notice how comfortable it is on the back as well. So definitely consider this new camo coloring. There's a special for the holidays on it as well. You have a special order form for that. When you look at the sling pack, the way this works, really neat how you see the functionality. I get why some people have switched from slings and they're moving over, from standard packs and they're moving over to slings because, well, let's face it, you're going bone fishing or something, or you're walking the beach and you're going to be far from the car, or there is no car, right? You're going to be for the day, right? And so I totally get that. So a sling keeps, number one, your chest open to do whatever it is that you want to do, right? And so I dig that part of it. And then you can still have your hemostats or pliers and zingers and nippers, really easy access to do a quick retie for a little scuffed leader or whatever. But here's the beauty.
to be able to go ahead and sling it across your body, to be able to take a break, put the rod through here, eat a sandwich, a power bar, whatever, or maybe it's better than that. Yeah, it's just to take a drink, right? So go ahead and pull out your water, get to your rain jacket or your camera and your lenses in its waterproof bag that's inside of here. So there's a lot of pockets there. Mid layer, you'll know, is all for bug food, for your bait, right? It's all your flies and lures and wire and all that. And then my front zipper here, this is going to be maybe all my accessories, right? Leaders, tippets, all that. You know, I can stage it this way. And if I hang a boga grip or a net right off of here, it's easy for me to pre-stage and use this way. When I'm done, sling it all over, obviously, like all slings, and snap it in, right? And there it is here. You can adjust the height with tightening this all through it or loosening it to lower it. But that's a nice height to go wading in most situations, and really good for when you're wearing a stripping basket as well. All right, so that's the new camo coloring on the Steamboat sling from Umpqua. All right, lastly, not last, but I want you to focus on some new waterproof boxes. These are the mid sizes. I'll just bring one over here with us. But I want you to come over here and I want you to appreciate the incredible packaging, okay, and really see how nicely these are done. So Umpqua knocked it out of the park with their new premium fly box line. The LTs are the ones on the top here, and I'll show you a close-up here. They are really nice and thin, okay? So people are going to love the way they slide into their pockets. I love how you can see through them as well, okay? And then notice the nice strong ceramic magnets. And this TPE, this is not silicone, so this is a molded product where we're able to do really nice slots, lifelong slots that'll never lose their pressure, okay? And so this one's filled with some tailing redfish flies from the Flood Tide Festival not too long ago. So these are going to make, and this is the LT in the high, okay, in the bugger for this exact version, okay? But what a wonderful box that's going to be for traveling bone fishermen, permit guys, anything like this that wants 2 or 3 separate light small ones. So these are our LTs. So they come in a smaller version. They come in various molds for a mix of nymphs and dries and streamers. What a neat little box that is. These start at $19.95 and I think go to $24.95, so they're very reasonable. And then we have our waterproof line. Okay, those are the HDs. Okay, and so an example, this is our Magnum Midge. Notice how we're going to show you the inserts that are inside of this box and how it's made in there. We're going to clearly talk about the box so the consumer can absorb all the details. And then it's done where we can unvelcro the box and undo the airtight seal, watertight seal, and you can look at the leaves that this particular box comes with. So this is really nice for the merchandising within the store, for the consumer to be able to digest. So great margins here. There's a special for the holidays on it, so please look at those specials. Preseason orders are due in just a matter of weeks, so please get on your orders immediately there. And then this is the same thing in the medium size, that pocket size, if you will. And look, you can't make this up. Hold on. I can't open this box. I want you to listen, and I'm going to be quiet for a second. I got to get a knife, and I want you to see, lots of these will make a vacuum sound when you open it. Did you hear that? I heard it. It went... I heard the vacuum seal. Now, I've had literally some dealers say, we can't open them when we get them. I realize that. These go through international shipping and all. Look at the seal. If you can look at the gasket lip, there's a lip inside of the, right in here, a ledge. And there's a lip in here, and it is a lip going into that, and it makes that airtight seal. So when you first get them, you'll have a vacuum action from that seal. What a neat box that is with the micro slits in there as well. So wonderful presentation. This is about putting a new display in your end cap of your fly boxes, wherever it may be. The special is on a variety of boxes, and trust me, everybody that's done this has said they're surprised how many of the offshoot boxes and different designs that they've sold in boxes they would have never ordered if it wasn't for the fact that Umpqua gave them a bunch of free boxes with that promotion. So please look at that, and I think you'll find it will be very profitable for you. Also in Umpqua, we have some new beads. So look at the fly tying section, because these radiant slot faceted and non-faceted beads, we make them in pink as well. Wonderful for shrimp patterns. Remember, we're putting a lot of lead dumbbells and bead chain dumbbells on bonefish and saltwater flies that don't need dumbbells. We're just putting weight on them. Well, you could land these flies a lot quieter by using a bead on your shrimp pattern instead of some lead dumbbells. So definitely consider doing a little article on that, or tell your customers about it and carry some new tungsten beads in pink from Umpqua. Well, I want to end with some clothing, and let's look at a few new pieces. So you'll notice we have a whole new line that you'll be able to see from our your dealer, in your store. So here's our UPF 30 and our new hoodie, which is really nice. And then we have a tuna on one. I like this Moby series. This is one of my favorite, and you gotta look closely here. I want you to zoom all the way in, and I want you to really close, and I want you to look at the cool artwork that's done on this tarpon. And now look really close at the flats boat and the guy. They got it. They got it. They got it going on. So this is super historic and cool for our biz. We're going to sell a crap load of these. So definitely look at that. Same thing in our UPF. It's like a Denali type, or it's like a UPF nice knit shirt. And we have that same artwork for the guys who want to wear a sun shirt. So that's our Moby series. And we have that in a tarpon. And we also have that. Oh, and by the way, I skipped by that Grand Slam there in the T-shirt. So, and that's got some nice flies on the chest as well. And then, like I was saying, in the Moby series, we do have it in a trout also. Okay, coming from the deep in a really cool drift boat. Okay, super cool. Just neat. They got the right vibe going on it. So pumped about that. And we got two colorways in that. I'll flash through some of these. A nice black vintage with the new Umpqua camo pattern on it. Really love our hoodie, and I say that because this reminds me of a piece Umpqua used to make years ago. Notice the high loft gray fleece inside. So they put the active part on you, and notice the black smooth face on the outside. Man, this works. It really does. So if any of you are looking for a good hoodie, love the contrast stitching, consider this new Umpqua piece. Really nice. And then the last, and then we got a totem, the vintage look as well, in a couple colors. You'll see these in your catalog in order form. And then lastly, I love this kind of stuff. I'm not over it. Some people think they're done with it. I'm not. I just love it. It's cool. It's original. Fly Time Professionals. I love this. Yep, super cool. So anyway, and you'll see some new hats in your catalogs as well. I believe I hit most of the high points. This is Captain Dave Chenard from Chenard Outdoor Associates. You can find me on the web and around if I can help. Otherwise, it's my pleasure spending this time with you, and good fishing.